Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerians' leading initiative in the business of brand management and the management of brand business. It is a 30 minutes wholesome package that comprises brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. Amogale Abikere.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Good to have you back. First on Marketing Edge on TV is brand news, where we bring you the latest developments and occurrences in the advertising, marketing and communication sector in Nigeria and around the world. Now on brand news. In furtherance of its regulatory mandates to ensure high ethical standards and professionalism in the advertising industry, the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON, has announced the constitution of the much-awaited Advertising Offences Tribunal by the federal government to aid the enforcement of the new advertising law. In a statement released by the Advertising Regulatory Agency, the tribunal will be chaired by Honorable Justice Cecilia M.A. with Charles Odenibo, Morov Aliero Esquire, Idoriang Enang, as well as Mrs. Julia Oku Jacks as members. According to the statement, the tribunal is an independent, specialized judicial body established to ensure equity, openness, and fairness in all disputes and offenses committed or allegedly committed under the Act, adding the tribunal will advocate speedy hearing and timely resolution of all matters before it. The president of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, NIMN, Idoriang Enang, has warned of a pending decline in intellectual and mental capabilities following the overdependence on new media technologies for solutions to marketing needs. Speaking at the third public annual lecture of the Lagos chapter of the NIMN, Idoriang Enang stated that the recent breakthroughs in technology have made many professionals to jettison critical reasoning and insights backed by research to create solutions that deliver well on the brand promise and objectives. According to him, the latest innovations in technology and the sophistications of automated tools have led to a depth in knowledge which will have severe consequences on the future of marketing as well as the growth of businesses if marketers do not deliberately engage in intellectual rigor while leveraging technology. Latest industry report has shown that over 150 new phone models have been introduced into the Nigerian market to meet the overwhelming demand for smartphones as technological growth deepens. According to reports from the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC), in the last 2 months alone, no less than 151 new phone models have been approved for importation. The report stated that only 1,961 phones were approved by the NCC in January 2023, which later rose to 2,112, indicating that the mobile manufacturers had secured approval for 151 new models of phones between February and March. The latest data on type-approved phones shows that Chinese mobile manufacturers are still dominating the mobile market in the country in terms of approved devices. Tecno led the pack with over 300 models of its phones approved. This trend has continued with the latest batch of approved phones, further cementing China's dominance in the market. Global beverage company Coca-Cola is celebrating 137 years of refreshing the world and making a difference with over 200 brands and thousands of beverages across countries and territories of the world. Having made its mark, breaking territories and boundaries with its unique taste and unmistakable logo, it has remained a valuable brand and a market leader by ensuring that people are at the center of everything it does, from its employees to those who touch its business and to the communities it calls home. In its quest to fulfill its vision, it has introduced various sustainability efforts which cover a wide range of topics, including water, women, community well-being, sustainable packaging, climate protection, human and workplace rights, and sustainable agriculture. As a consumer-centric brand, the legendary Coca-Cola, through various campaigns, represents different things to different people. Coca-Cola is not only a symbol of celebration and entertainment, it is also a symbol of love, care, and social life.
Well, that was brand news. Next is branding focus after this break.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. Her reason to imagine is slay. His reason is to be the GOAT. Theirs is to take the beat and make it lit. They want to test edgy till it is fire. Their reason for imagination is to add riz in style. Her reason to imagine is finesse. And hers is to find what's new and bussin'. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now on branding focus. The entire concept of consumer behavior is taking a new dimension. I mean, change is constant, but the evolution of consumers is now accelerated by technology. Internet proliferation has exploded and has led to a massive transformation in an incredibly short period of time. There has been a shift in power from the marketer to the consumer, suggesting a new form of relationship between the consumer and brands. It is an evolution that has continued to have a profound impact on shopping trends, retailers' relationship with consumers, operations, and beyond. First, we saw the rise of the connected consumers, those who demanded the ability to engage with brands when they wanted, no matter where they happened to be. Companies responded by investing in e-commerce, moving into social media and mobile, providing a first glimpse of the omnichannel world, which allows the consumer to shop anytime, anywhere, and any way they want. In this present age and times, consumers are no longer that passive audience who consume just anything as relates to all brands' messages. Now consumers are discerning. They are producers, active, daring, and are demanding more from brands. Brands are no longer the sole custodians of their messages. Consumers now discuss brands in their focus groups, chats, and all. They make purchase decisions after exhaustive product research, online price comparison, talking with their networks online, and face-to-face before making a purchase. Consumers today are empowered, smart, and incredibly rational. They are more and better exposed to an avalanche of information on brands. They demand flexibility and personalized attention after a purchase is made. Trends and culture are evolving, and it is changing consumer behavior as well. With a current worldwide estimated population of 7.8 billion, broadband research revealed that approximately 4.93 billion people have access and use the internet frequently. And looking ahead, there will be about 6 billion internet users this year, 75% of the projected world population of 8 billion, according to statistics from cybersecurity ventures. Evolving consumer behavior is an opportunity for businesses to rethink strategy and reevaluate the operational model in line with the rapidly changing business environment. Brands must continue to evolve with the consumer to stay relevant and achieve their marketing objectives. They must align their messages with the expectations and desires of their consumers. To be in the mind of the digital consumer, brands must know the consumer's digital footprints, their daily routine, in order to meet them at their touch points. Marketers are leveraging internet advertising to achieve their marketing goals, which is evident in the rise of social media bloggers, growing trends of influencer marketing, growing demand for e-commerce and social commerce accelerated by the pandemic. Entertainment marketing is gaining more traction among brands. Since the attention lifespan of consumers is fleeting, embedding humor, games, and skits in advertising messages will attract more engagement, which can lead to patronage and brand equity.
Well, that was branding focused. Next is industry conversation, when we have interactions with distinguished personalities in the business of brand management. Well, today we will be continuing on the conversation we started last week with the Experiential Marketers Association of Nigeria, ESMAN President Tunji Adeyinka, after this break.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
So, given the recent changes that we're beginning to observe in the integrated marketing communications industry, for the experiential business, how would you evaluate the relationship you have with your clients?
Excellent. Hasn't been better.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Beautiful. We love our clients like crazy. I think that the more important thing to look at is that with clients who have been collaborative, very collaborative, the outcome of the relationship with agencies, experiential agencies, very, very beautiful. And when I say very collaborative, it means that from the beginning, the agencies, the experiential agency is treated as part of that strategic pool. These are the objectives I want to achieve. These are the challenges that we have. And what you then find is your agency becomes your partner, almost like your internal partner, but this time around they're external and they're able to help you on that side. They're able to give you outside-in views about what is happening in your market. They're working with other clients, so they're also able to give you broad counsel on what is happening in other categories. So the engagement with those clients, the clients who are forward-looking, the clients who are collaborative, has been excellent. The ones that have not been so excellent are also moving in that direction, because the more the clients begin to understand that, the more you are able to take a premium out of that relationship. And I'm not sitting here pretending that it's a one-sided conversation. It's not one-sided. Agencies also need to come to the table with value. So I'm not sitting at the table with an entitlement mentality. So agencies, and as we found with a lot of our members and a lot of people of agencies in the IMC space, today more collaborative, more focused on value, and more focused on the business of their clients to understand what drives the business of the client and what are the challenges that the client is facing. So where you have both parties being that open, you can be sure that the results will be enormous, and that is what we see. So we don't have any problems with our clients, actually.
That's nice to know. Speaking to collaboration, you talked about collaborating, between, collaboration between the agencies and, of course, the client. But what about collaboration that exists amongst agencies within the association? And we understand that collaboration is a new competition. So is partnership, doable in your sector?
So EXMAN is 10 years this year. By the way.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. And what has helped us is that from 10 years till now, you've had a very cooperative thinking, because there's certain things you can achieve as individual firms, but there's certain things that are best achieved when firms come together. We compete, but we also cooperate. So EXMAN members have had a very, very unique view to collaboration. There are a lot of conversations that we can only have on a collaborative basis. The kind of discussions that we have with the regulator, for example, with ARCON, we do on a collaborative basis. ARCON is working with all of the sectoral groups and also advertisers to ensure that they shore up the value in the industry, to ensure that the value exchange is mutual. So we are able to engage with that collaboratively. Second is that we also understand the things among us which are really levers of competition, but there's some which are levers of collaboration. So there's certain things that we know as an industry that we should have and which every member of the industry can tap into. So an example is, and we'll be launching that very soon, is that we understand, for example, that a lot of our members have assets which are probably not well utilized. They have equipment, they have sound equipment, they have light equipment, they have all sorts of equipments which are sitting in the warehouse. And therefore, we're building a system, an asset exchange system that allows agencies who do not own this asset to use these assets, pay for those assets, pay very competitive prices for those assets, and also enable those who own those assets to optimize the usage of those assets without it sitting bare in their warehouses. So we have those areas. When I talk about the measurement systems that we're working on as Xman, we're doing that collaboratively. So there's so many things that we're doing because we believe that when we come together and we wield our numbers, we are able to achieve those things better than if we do that as individuals.
Highly commendable. Well, you get to tell us more about the 10th year anniversary and all the plans you have. But before we get there, let's talk a bit about regulations. You mentioned ARCON, and interestingly, ARCON has introduced several reforms in the advertising industry and get towards repositioning the industry for growth. And you are this, Xman president, and we also have other sectorial bodies. So what are the rules in terms of helping this helping the implementation of the new ARCON law?
The rules are very, very clear. First is there's been a lot of work that has gone on in the last year or two in terms of educating the different players in the ecosystem, educating the members of the sectoral groups, educating the people that we work for. And that collaboration has meant that we've had a lot of discussions in terms of how best to implement this or how best to implement that. We've had discussions in certain cases where the law says implement it as AB, but it's implemented in a better manner than AB because it's more about the spirit of the law than the letter. And we understand that the law is geared towards achieving a certain objective. And what we then do or see is to ensure that there's communication amongst all of the sectoral groups, which we have on a regular basis. It also so happens that the sectoral groups are all, within a phase where the different executives in those groups are collaborative largely. And that allows us to also exchange in terms of what is working for you and what is working for me. And there's certain projects that we also do together as one. So I think it's been a very good ride. Of course, there are challenges there and there. There will always be challenges. But what we believe is that as we continue to engage, as we continue to have useful conversations, things will ultimately improve.
Speaking about challenges, we spoke to some. Yes. So we spoke to some, professionals in the experiential marketing industry, and some of them they share the opinion that ISOP has not been fully implemented. So what would be your thoughts on that, sir?
Yeah, ISOP has not been fully implemented. That is very true. But we started from ground zero. From ground zero to where we are today, how far have we gone? Some of the stipulations will take a while to implement, especially with certain clients or companies, because for some of them, decision making is not centered in Nigeria. So I don't think that we believed that everything in ISOP was going to be implemented in 1 year. I don't think that is going to ever happen, especially for an industry that has done things in a certain way for a long time. It is going to take time. And within that time, you'll have engagements. Those engagements will be useful. In some cases, there will be some challenges. Those challenges will be useful because at the end of the day, would always come back to a point where we're able to agree on what is the right way to engage.
So, as the president of the Experiential Marketing Association of Nigeria, what would be the milestones you recorded last year, and what are you looking towards achieving this year?
Yeah, thank you. So, we came in last year, and what we've done between then and now is that first is we've been able to work very closely and very well with Outcon in terms of taking the changes in regulation, taking it down to our members, and to ensure that our members comply as much as possible. I think that is one of the things that we've done. Also, we have been able, in terms of empowering members with a lot of training and quality in the infusion of some of the programs that we've done with the members. So last year we had, I think it was a chief executive, a CEO bootcamp, which helped our CEOs to look at some of the key business issues that they need to address, as they do business in Nigeria. We have also, most recently, I think from the last AGM, launched a gateway to experiential marketing platform where anyone who is coming into experiential marketing, we've looked at standardizing what you call brand representatives, standardizing across the industry by way of training, qualitative training, which means that if I'm a brand promoter and I'm working for agency A or agency B or agency C, there's certain trainings that you don't need to train me anymore because I already have a certification from this gateway to experiential marketing. And this certification means that I have ABC. So what I need is DE at this point. So that was launched last year. For the rest of the year, we have a few programs lined up. We're going to be celebrating our 10th year anniversary this year, and we have a bouquet of programs. So first is we're going to be launching a bank.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but you don't.
Interesting.
But I won't tell you. I won't tell you what kind of bank that will be. But we'll be launching a bank. So that's one. Two is we are going to also be celebrating with those who have worked in this industry over a very long time, and those who have contributed to the industry over a very long time, not in the span of 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years. We're going to be recognizing them. The X-Man Awards are coming up. It comes up every 2 years. So in July, we'll be having the X-Man Awards, where we celebrate and reward work that is done by experiential agencies. We'll have our AGM, and we're going to be having our elections as well in the month of July. And also, our Brand Experience Summit is also coming up in July. It's going to be 2 days in July. I think it's 12th and 13th in July, where we're bringing a very good rank of speakers. In the last 2 years, we did something which was more virtual than physical. This year, it will be more physical than virtual. And that is going to be taking place at Bamora on Victoria Island. So these are some of the activities that we've lined up for the rest of this year. Of course, the other activities that I've said, we're going to be launching the asset exchange platform as well within this year, and launching a few other very important advocacy programs.
Thank you so much, sir, for having this time with us on Industry Conversation.
Thank you.
We look forward to having future conversations, especially after your 10th anniversary celebration.
No problem.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay. And so that's it on Marketing Edge on TV. Do well to join us same time next week for another interesting time. I'm Ogalia Bikele. See you again.